Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. As you see, we've got the big buck laying here. We're going to get to work on him. In this video, show you how we're going to do each cut. I've kind of changed my approach a little bit this year, and I'm getting more steaks than I used to get. I discovered some things. Let's just say McGee likes his steak. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing that, and we're going to process this whole deer for you. Do it pretty quick. And then we've got 3 more that we're going to follow it with, more like on a time lapse with some music and make it fun. But anyway, let's get into it. This buck was live weight, 132 pounds, which ain't monstrous, but it's still bigger than the rest of them. So we're going to get right into it. This deer was nailed with a muzzle loader right there. And it came out right here on the other side that decimated the heart. We weren't able to eat the heart. We're going to put it in the dog food ground. But anyway, let's get into it. We'll show you how we cut some deer. All right, before I start cutting on this deer, I've got to sharpen my knife. And when I feel down through there, I can feel a definite dullness here on the tip. That's the part that gets used the most. I can't really use a steel like this to get that tip sharp. I like using a steel because it only bends the blade and you don't wear your blade down as quick. But this tip, I've tried so many times to get that tip sharp doing different methods. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Let me introduce you to the Warthog knife sharpener. This thing was introduced to me by a friend named Rodney. He took my dull knife that I had on my pocket and he just ran it about 7 or 8 times down through here like this. That thing just works on springs. It's long lasting. I've had this thing for a couple of years maybe. I'm not sure how long. The only thing I've replaced have been the honing,
steels?
Yeah. I don't know what they call them. The burrs? The grit? I don't know because I completely wore them out sharpening my knife. And the thing is, they just pop off and you buy replacements, pop them back on. It's just that simple. I like to set it on a table and take my knife and at it just a good, steady, solid push straight down. It don't take much. It's razor sharp right now. So I'm ready to cut deer meat, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this paper towel right here. I'm gonna wipe my knife blade off because see that little bit of blackness right there? That is where we sharpen. So we don't want that in our meat. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is cut off a shoulder. And I'm gonna start basically at this brisket here. When you shoot a deer with a gun, you have a lot of congealed blood that gathers up. It's not a big deal. It can be just flaked right off. There are no bones attaching the shoulder to the carcass, so you just cut it right off like that. I'm just gonna throw that up here on the table. I strictly put the shoulders pretty much in ground burger. There are some cuts that could be taken from it, but I'm gonna put it in the burger, and I'm gonna start on this back strap of this deer. Come right down through here, down the middle. Everybody's got a different way of doing it. This is just the way I do it. There's a stack of bones on the backbone that stand out, keep you from getting down to the ribs, so you got to kind of get over to that. Once you get that worked back, you can start peeling it. One rib at a time, you just work it on down. See, I got it down to that bone real clean there. I'm just going to continue that. It almost peels. You just have to kind of give it a little help, but it'll pretty much peel off. And there we go, back strap. I'm going to go ahead and take the other one off while I'm here, and then I'll work them both up at the same time. she's basically still getting the blood off of that. I'm gonna take this back strap and do just a little bit of trimming up on these edges. There's some stuff that can be ground into ground meat. And I'm gonna just peel this, I think, by hand. That's just basically junk. You could grind that into your grind, but you don't want to. Now, trim up a little of this old fat stuff. If you cut it out really close to the bone, you're gonna have a little bit of junk that needs to be cleaned off of it. That's not a bad thing. That just shows you got everything that was there. You don't want to be leaving a lot. Not a problem. I'm gonna take this. When I package these, I want to package them just half of a back strap at a time, because I've got a future project coming up, you see, folks. I can't be slicing these into steaks just yet. If I decide I want to make steaks out of it, I'll make steaks out of it later. Just filleting it like you fillet a fish. There you have it. There's just a little bit more silver skin right here. That's beautiful right there. I'll give you a little hint. We made a video not too long ago making pinwheels out of these. I have an idea. I may go ahead and make some more of them, and in order to do that, I'm going to leave this just like this. I'm not going to butterfly it. That was the worst mistake I made in that video. And I'm going to see what I can do.
This is one of those cases where you learn from the first time.
Yes, always learn when you are doing something. I'm going to throw them in right here and get on with the next one.
We almost got some cartilage in there. These knives are just so sharp.
They're sharp. They knock it out. Just in case you're wondering, we are processing this for ourselves. This is not for a customer. So we do it how we want it. That's the beauty. And I'm doing this, just showing you, because I know there's people out there that have never done this type of thing before. I know there's probably a deer processor watching me right now. He's shaking his head. That's okay. I'm not doing this for a deer processor to watch, even though it does make me happy when Longo Banjo watches, knowing he's a deer processor, knowing he's shaking his head, because I like making him shake his head. That's been my goal for the last 5 years, ever since I met the old boy. The more he shakes his head, the happier I am. And so here we go. I'm just having fun. This thing slips and slides around. You know what would stop that?
What's that?
A wet rag under it.
It sure
If we
would.
put a wet rag there and there, this would stop slipping, sliding around.
You want me to go get one?
Let's do it. We're early in the day. It would be worth it. So I still have that same little piece of silver skin left on this one I had on that other one. I'm going to trim it off. Trim off here. And there we got it. So, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to give you a little heads up. This is a secret. I've been told this should stay under wraps for a while, but a certain channel. I've been on this channel before making special stuff. A lot of you probably followed me over there and watched me. I got invited back. So I'm going to be making some special stuff over for his channel. I can't tell you anything else except just be watching. I'll make the announcement when he says I can. But for now, you know more than he probably wants you to. That's... Alright, I'm just going to trim a little bit more of this tough stuff off right there. It's got mostly meat. It's mostly not sinew, so that's why it goes in the grinding pile.
If you'll lift it.
I'll do it. Here we go.
Like
Yep.
here? Okay. Get this one folded.
right, now we can work. Spin this part around and round. YouTube don't bash me too bad for this blood.
Hopefully not.
I can't help that it's bloody. It's just the way. Hunting is different than raising it and butchering it yourself, because you have them at close range. They're fairly gentle. They're not wild animals. Mine are wild, but I still get a headshot on them.
Yeah.
But anyway, there goes a lot of that blood gone. I don't mind for the fat to go in my grind, but I don't want all this blood to go in my grind. A lot of the people make that mistake and then they complain about the gamey taste. The blood is where the gamey taste is, folks. That's why hunted meat largely gets that reputation, because hunted meat is bloodshot a lot of the time. I'll just take this and soak up some of that. I don't put the gland in my grind. The gland is going to be right in here in this large fat globule. You see the gland right there. I'm going to cut through the gland so you can clearly see it. People absolutely freak out when they see this. If they're a newbie, they don't know what they're looking at. They think it's a parasite or some strange thing. Every deer has it in exactly the same spot, and it looks the same on all of them.
Yep.
Nothing but a gland.
I missed it on mine.
It's just one of them things. They're in the front shoulder, they're in the back, right at a certain spot. No biggie whatsoever. And if you're making grinding meat, it does not matter how you cut it off. When we skint these animals, we were careful, especially on this big buck, to keep that rose meat. We skint it carefully, kept the rose meat. And that goes in the grind. That don't get thrown away. It's perfectly fine. No deer processor that I know of that keeps them. But we ain't no deer processor that you've ever seen before, because we ain't.
We do it for us.
We do it for us. That's right.
Anybody else?
If I guarantee you, if we were doing it for everybody else, we would have no choice but to streamline and do quick as possible. That ain't who we are. That ain't what we're doing.
Exactly.
So once you get it down to that shoulder blade there, I like to get all the loose phalange meat off and then take it at that elbow. He's kind of got dirty elbows.
He does.
Cut down to the bone. Stay along the bone until you hit the blade, and then come right up the blade like that. And then you end up with a nice large chunk that you can strip up to the grinder. That leaves you with nothing but the blade there. I'll go ahead and clean up the forearm bone real quick so that we can see. Now we've got a shoulder blade here. That white line pretty much represents that shoulder blade bone that sticks out. The big flat part of the shoulder blade is on this side, the narrow on this side. Just stick the knife in and run along that bone all the way down. Then we'll come in and just fillet it off of that shoulder blade like this. Now that would be a flat iron steak on a beef. I've seen people before do some silliness, and I mean, I shouldn't say it's silliness, McGee. I'm sillier than they are most of the time. But you can see that separation right there where the sinew is in the center. And you have to fillet that off just right in order to get your flat iron steak. And there it is, flat iron steak. And then this side has all that. It's just thin. Some people, I mean, that's what, let me just say, do what you want to do. I want to grind it up, put it in my burger. I don't want to mess with it. I've got to keep trucking. It's just the way I feel. Someday, I may feel different. I might save one. And when I do, I don't want you to judge me. So I'm not going to judge you, all right? You do what you want. I do what I want. You think they're okay with me doing what I want?
They better be. It's their channel. They're dear.
Okay. Well, it's not Facebook, so they probably are okay with it.
Probably.
On Facebook, they know better.
Or think they do.
Yes, the smartest people are on Facebook. I don't believe that, but that's what they think.
I think it's real easy to dictate, provide an opinion on somebody else's life and actions when you're not a part of it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm just showing you how I do it. I'm not telling you you have to do it this way. I guarantee you, if you do cut your own deer, you will save enough in 1 year to buy your own grinder. Grinders are expensive. Nobody wants to pay $500 for a grinder, but they will take 5 deer to the processor and give $500 to have those 5 deer processed.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
I think we figured it out, and it did not take very long at all.
Nope.
When you figure out what processing costs would be
Oh yeah.
to pay off what was invested in getting the butcher supplies.
Yeah. Before long, you got a saw, you got a walk-in cooler, you got a meat slicer, a grinder, a mixer. Anything you need, you've already paid for it.
And don't forget the gallows outside.
Don't forget the gallows outside. Of course, the boys built that, so I don't count that. No, that was actually fun, and if you want to see us do that, we did it on a video. And I am ready to cut off the neck. I like to cut the neck off somewhere right here about where the chest cavity starts. Just like that. No problemo. I'm gonna let you start deboning the neck.
Alrighty, my pleasure. This is a nice chunk of meat.
Yeah. All right, this next portion is gonna be a part that every deer processor that I know throws away. And the reason is because a lot of people gut shoot deer. This deer wasn't gut shot. We're not going to treat him like a villain. This meat will be put in the grinding meat. This gets thrown away the day the deer is first put into the deer processor. Right here is where I was telling you the gland is on the front back leg. You're just gonna peel that off down to that first rib. I'm just gonna stay on top of them ribs and just cut it off. That's 100% boneless. There's layers of fat and sinew and whatnot all in there. That's what a grinder's for. I'll cut out that gland and we'll be in business right away. I'm gonna do the other side here, same way. The only thing you could do bad right here is accidentally getting into your tenderloins because they run here. This deer was kind of fatty, so you can't see them as well. Not a big deal, just don't want to cut into them. All right, next, I'm gonna take off. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is cut these tenderloins off. This dude had some leaf fat, serious hard leaf fat.
He was eating good.
He was eating good. I think I'm gonna put that into the grind. It can have a little bit of a tallowy texture, but the thing about it is I'm gonna have so much mangalitsa fat mixed in with this grind that fat is not going to be much discernible, and it is ruminant fat, which is better for you than even pig fat, which goes directly against anything I used to say or believe. And that's why I say, keep an open mind. I'm trying to keep an open mind.
You just never know what you might learn.
The smartest people in life are not the ones that refuse to change their minds. I'll just put it that way. I'm not claiming to be the smartest person in life. I'm just telling you, just by saying I've changed my mind does not make me Mr. Dummy. Learn and keep it on learning. Fattest tenderloin that we're going to have to deal with today, thankfully.
Wow.
That does not make it very easy with all that fat on there. And there we go, 2 of them. Now, I'm just going to take this back off. Take him there, give him a little cracker adjustment. He wants to be adjusted down here lower, so that's fine. And there we go. All right, here's the little old tenderloins. I'm just gonna kind of clean them up a little bit. We like to take them boogers and just season them down with that camp dog and just stick them in the oven and bake them whole. That's good stuff right there.
Delicious.
You can slice them and fry them up too. Nothing wrong with that. We do that sometimes.
It's just all how you want to eat it.
That's it. All right. Now we've got the rib meat here. Rib meat and fat. A little bit of a shoulder blade in here that I left in. And then we're just going to start peeling this back. And a lot of times your ribs are what collect all that blood from the sustained injury. And so you have to deal with that when you peel these back. This one is somewhat bloody, but not terrible. Cut that whole area out around that bullet because you never know when there's going to be lead fragments, hair, dirt. Just pitch that, and that's gone. The rest of this is completely boneless, hairless, jobless, all those lesses. I'm going to take a paper towel and try to just rub out this blood here. You'll get the majority of it. And there's a little bit there I can't get. I'm just going to cut it off and pitch it. It does not constitute very much anyway. Now, I'm just going to take my knife and strip this up. Just like that. There we've got more ground deer burger. Coming right up, probably be made into sausage. Here's them belly flaps I was showing you. Get in here and peel. That gland is in there. That gland is right there. That's the beginning of it. Cut into it, open it up. It wasn't very big on this dude for some reason. All right, I'm just gonna take a little more of this stuff off. If your grinder is fairly weak, you can have trouble grinding these rib meat and belly flaps because it's a little bit on the tougher side, can be. But if you've got a fairly good, powerful grinder and you keep your blades sharp, it's no big deal. You cut through it. And the truth of the matter is, the Merritt's bought a Meat Ear Maker brand grinder and it is powerful. So
We can't hardly feed that thing fast enough.
yeah, overfilling it is a very rare endeavor.
The only way we managed to do that is if our meat and fat got too warm.
Yeah, and then it's not really bogging it, it's just kind of sitting there spinning. And another thing thing that really helps is to grind this stuff half partially frozen. That really helps the blades just cut right through it like it's nothing really.
Mm-hmm. Like butter.
Like butter. When you save everything, ribs, belly meat, whole 9 yards, you really up your poundages. The pounds of burger that you end up with really escalates a lot. And it's only a little here and a little there, but it adds up majorly. I'm on the ribs now. I'm cutting out a little bloodshot around the bullet hole. And I think I'm going to just set this to the side for you.
All right.
And I'm going to take the hind leg here.
That was 7, I believe.
That's all it takes. I want to see the difference.
All right.
Tell me, don't cut your hand off, but tell me how it works.
Much better.
Much better?
It's not dragging in the meat anymore.
Good.
I could feel it dragging in the meat before.
Yeah. That's what people, they just keep fighting it and keep it dull. That ain't where it's at, folks.
Nope, you're better off to just take the time, sharpen it, and get back to work.
Yep. All right. I am going to take one of these hind legs off. First thing I got to do is separate this pelvic bone. This is a bigger buck. I may have to use a saw. Sometimes on the bigger bucks, the pelvic bone is a lot harder. There's a seam in the center that sometimes you can hit. Boy, oh boy. There we go.
I heard that crack.
All right.
Woohoo!
There we go. Hindquarter off. All right, now we're on the hind leg. This is where I always get my steaks from the top round, bottom round, eye round. And just this year, I started taking steaks from the sirloin tip and the sirloin actually. So very happy that I have upped my steaks, the amount of steaks I'm getting from these deer. So here's your top round, here's your bottom round. The eye round sits between those two, and your sirloin tip is right here. So I like to take this very clear white line right here. That's your separation. Go ahead and open it on up, and you can just easily stick your fingers right in. You can see that I didn't cut that. That's already that way. My knife went in there, but I got in, and I'm just going to come here to the end. And I'm just going to follow that muscle separation. Now I'm just going to wrap around to the bone, all the way around, come back up. Look at that, the whole thing is loose basically. Just come right down the bone. It'll fall off. With a little help. Now at this point, it's super easy to separate top, bottom, and eye. Just start pulling and it just happens kind of by itself. Especially if you've aged it for a week like this one. This deer is shot 9 days ago, so that makes it easy. There's your top round. There is a real thin layer of meat on here that comes off first before you separate the two. And that little thin piece of meat is perfect for grinding. And that's what we're going to do with it. Now, when you're holding your top round, you see a clear difference right there. You can take your thumb, you don't even need a knife. Take your thumb and open it up. You probably need your knife to do the whole thing, but to discover where it is, you don't need a knife. And that right there is actually a very good tasting steak muscle. Nothing wrong with that. The top round is excellent steaks. We'll cut that up here in a second, but first I'm gonna get my eye captain. I've got it separated and I'm just gonna cut that outer tough stuff and get it all off, and then I'll peel it by hand. Peel that off and get rid of it, and there is the eye round. Dr. Grant Woods, Mr. Growing Deer TV, says this is what he calls the hidden tenderloin. And that is really what it is, because it's tender, it's good. You slice it up, you can't tell the difference between it and tenderloin. I'm on this bottom round, I'm cleaning it up right quick. There's your gland right there. So we're just gonna cut it out, pitch it. The bottom round has a sinew on it that is different from the other round muscles. It's flat, it's easy to get a knife into, easy to remove, and you don't want to keep it on there, so just get rid of it. Then all that's left to do is clean up this thing from the outer dry sinew. We'll get over to the edge, get our knife in there, and just fillet it off. There's some meat on that, we'll just grind that, and we're ready to make steaks. Bottom round steak looks like this right here. Eye round steak looks like this right here. Top round steak looks like this right here. So you got the top, bottom, and eye of round steaks. We're just gonna stake them up right now, and we'll make a stack in our tote. And I like to put the stacks individually separated so that I can label them and I know what I'm eating. Some people don't like know what they're eating.
It makes a big difference if you know if you're cooking a tough cut
Yep.
or a tender cut.
That it do. These little pieces that come off the side of the top round, I just throw them in with the eye round, and anything that's along the same size, it's gonna cook up the same. Keeping the size the same is more important than anything, because that has to do with cooking times, getting it right. Not overcooking deer is more important than just about anything I know. And this here is the bottom round. We're going to go ahead and get it cut up. A lot of times I get top and bottom confused because top round is actually below the bottom round, and that don't make no sense to me. It's just top because it's bigger and better. Now I want to show you how to get that sirloin tip. The sirloin is back here. The sirloin tip is right here. And we're just going to cut kind of a V-shaped notch right around the kneecap. And we're going to come down the bone like this. I don't know if you can see it. Come down the bone on both sides. Then we're going to try to wrap around. Keep filleting it off of that bone. We're going to make sure that we're cut completely free up top, so that that thing will fall loose and we can get in there and get it. Look how it just falls off there. And there, that's it right there. Just terminate that.
I love it when it gives you a little help and you don't have to do all of it.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now you're just going to take that sirloin tip, trim it up, get the odds and ends off of it. Just like this. We'll get this outer edge. Most of the time the tri-tip is so small on a deer it ain't worth messing with, so that's it right there. Give it a little pull, and there we have that. Some of this stuff here is just absolute sinew. We will not put that through the grinder. But we've got our sirloin tip sitting here, pretty as a picture, ready to be turned into steaks, and that is what we're going to do. I had some of these for lunch about a week ago, and I'm telling you, melt in your mouth. Amazing. Of course, we did not cook them well done, Dennis. Cook it well done, you get what you asked for. But look here, beautiful round tip steaks. Some people call them round tip, some call them sirloin tip. Now we're getting back in here where some of this is not good for anything but grinding, and we'll find sirloin. Some people call it different things. Some people don't call it the sirloin. I've seen quite a lot of variations, so no judgment if you call it something else.
Just as long as you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's the important part.
That's it. I can't even keep people from judging me. I just have to do what I do.
Yep.
This little pocket right here, what I call the sirloin, some people call it other things, is tender. There's nothing not tender about that. So I'm gonna take that and clean it up and make steaks out of it. Grind that part and steak this one up. There's not a lot to it, but it's worth doing. Definitely worth doing. I'm gonna trim out that outer rind, some people call it.
And that's about the consistency of a rind once it's hung a couple of days.
Yep. And there we go, sirloin. And that's that. Only thing left to clean up is this shank. Just get in there, cut it out. I'm gonna pass that on to her.
Okey doke.
And I'm gonna start me another hind leg here, which just happens to be connected to the lower back. I tried my best to get that off, and it said it didn't really wanna.
Yep.
Maybe I was in the wrong spot, but I thought I was in the right spot. Oh, I felt something give way right there.
I'll hold the leg steady up here if you wanna
Okay.
do what you gotta do.
I don't want to break the table.
Well, that's a good point.
You would think if you got that far through, it would just break over. It ain't. There we go. That piece of the back can be cleaned up for burger as well. And I'm just going to take back off with the rounds on this hind leg here. I think you've probably seen about all you want to see at this speed. I'm fixing to speed her up. We're going to knock it out. And then you're going to see when we get all done, we're going to have a pile of steaks. We're going to have a pile of ground meat. The ground meat's just going to get frozen, not ground today, because we want to mix in pork fat. We want to probably make sausage with it, to be quite honest with you. And so that's how that's going to work. All I can say now is hang on to your buffalo briefs or your hat or whatever it is that's going to blow off, because we're fixing to take a ride. folks, there you go. I don't know if you thought we'd get this done in a day, but we did easily. Easily. So anyway, look at this, folks. I'm going to show you back straps. This right here, let's see. This is top round, bottom round, eye round, sirloin tip, sirloin, tenderloin down there. And then we've got probably about 140 pounds of burger right here. This is about 60, this is probably more like 70 pounds, maybe even more. I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't 80 pounds. We don't have no scales down here, but we just did the wild pigs and that right there weighed 60 pounds, that amount. So that we do know. But anyway, there you go. That is 2 of my deer, 1 of Caleb's deer, 1 of Matthew's deer. You watched all those hunts except for Matthew. He got this spiked buck. He got it separate from me. I was helping Caleb hunt, and Matthew was hunting by himself. So he didn't get a video of him shooting his. But in the blind he's in, he built that whole thing by himself. He cleared the little plot and everything all by himself and cut down a path where he could drive to it. He did a lot of work for that deer, so I'm proud of him. He's still got a tag. If he has the tag and we have a time to go together, I'll try to go with him, maybe even to his own stand, because it's built for 2. So that's something to look forward to in the future. But for right now, that's all I got for you. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.